everybody, my name's Chris and I'm part of Audio Addiction, so today I'm going to give you guys my album review for Bayside Vacancy.
Well, I've been dead all day, could you tell, this is where I leave here, I save myself.
So Vacancy has been put out by Hopeless Records, and Bayside has been around for a while. They've been around since the early 2000s. This is their 7th album. And the band is comprised of Anthony Ranieri, who does vocal and guitar. We have Jack O'Shea, who does lead guitar and adds in some vocals, followed by Nick Gonbarian on bass, and finally Chris Guglielmo on drums. The real interesting thing about this album is it was all done remotely, so these members were spread across the United States. I think Chris was in California, then you had Anthony down in Tennessee with Jack, and so these guys were all spread around, and with the power of the internet, they were able to put together what I think of as the biggest departure from the normal sound of Bayside that we've had from these guys in all these years. So I'm excited to talk about this, so I'm going to break it down track by track, and then I'm going to do pros and cons of the overall album. So let's get into it. Track number 1, we have 2 letters, so right off the bat this kind of gave me an Alkaline Trio vibe with the guitars. And this is a song that's going to kind of get you into this album. I thought it was a great opening song because it's very familiar to Bayside fans, but at the same time they also do a little bit of newer things in this one. I really like the chorus. I really like the clever lyrics, and yeah, overall this song was I liked it a lot. So moving on to number 2, we have I've Been Dead All Day. So this is first off like a very cheery song for Bayside. The guitars are tuned up a little bit, and you can definitely tell that they're going for something different in this song, mainly because there's definitely a southern influence in this song. You could definitely tell, like, Anthony down there in Tennessee, he's gotten some influence down there. There's a really cool piano interlude that I liked a lot, and of course the chorus, I've been dead all day. It's just kind of funny how it is, and this is a really great song for Anthony to show his vocal range. He does a different kind of melody, but it really suits him, and of course the guitar throughout the song is really great. And moving on to track number 3, we have Enemy Lines. Now you guys might remember, if you've been keeping an eye on this, Enemy Lines was like the first single off this album, and right out of the get-go, I'm going to let you guys know this is the most familiar song to me as a Bayside fan throughout my whole life. Like, I felt very comfortable, like, okay, this is Bayside, no doubt about it. Definitely great bass part by Nick in this one, and I love the marching type beat that breaks throughout the song. Then we have a great chorus that really picks up the speed. I really wanted to move when I heard the chorus, burst in. I really just wanted to get up and move. Great high energy feeling from that part of the song, and Ranieri hitting those high notes was great. This is definitely one of my favorite songs off this album for sure. And now we're moving into Not Fair. While this is a very interesting song to start because it kind of goes like a little offbeat, kind of like something we don't see from Bayside too much. Interesting guitar parts where it's kind of like staggered, and I really loved Nick's job on bass throughout the song. I think it kind of carried the rhythm, the feeling of the song. And what was really interesting about this song is that for some reason, it gave me like a musical kind of vibe. Just the way the instrumentation was done with Ranieri singing over top of it was definitely something new for Bayside, which is a common theme for this album, as you'll realize as I keep continuing through this video. And what really got me about the song was the inspirational theme from the lyrics throughout the song, really, hitting home for me that this is a hopeful song, a strong message to say, like, look forward to, don't let yourself get down, pick yourself back up and you could do it, which is, I know Bayside's generally been kind of, they are an emo band, or at least they were, so a lot of their lyrics were kind of downtrodden and a little depressing, but this is definitely a far departure from that kind of stuff for sure. Now moving on to track number 5, it's called Pretty Vacant. This is a really great song for Chris on drums. He starts off with like an industrial type staggered drum kind of beat, and I really loved what they did with the guitars on this song, between Jack and Anthony kind of staggering these guitars back and forth give this really cool effect. If you really listen for it, it sounds awesome. Moving on to track number 6, it's called Rumspringa Heartbeat Road. So yes, this song is one of my favorites off the track right away. I heard this and I was like, yeah, this is awesome, because it really is probably the fastest song on the album. And I love how it goes from the verse to the chorus. It just breakneck speed. It just switches in. And all throughout this, Jack O'Shea is playing over top of the rhythm, and he's shredding this entire song, and it's just insane how good this guy is at guitar. And this song, it definitely shows him shine for sure. This really got my head bobbing throughout. I really appreciated that. And there's this really cool organ part that was thrown in there. Like I said, this is something new that Bayside hasn't really explored, is like these other side instruments thrown in there. And of course, I like the little profanity in the chorus there is pretty good. Number 7 is called Mary, and I just did not like this song. You know, it just didn't vibe with me. It's almost like a pop song, but then again, it's like a soft rock song, kind of mixed with southern. The lyrics were not there for me, and I just felt like this was the furthest thing from Bayside I've ever heard them put out. Like, it was just one of those songs that, okay, these guys threw this in there, but it just didn't connect with me. So moving on to number 8, it's called Maybe Tennessee. So basically, this song it kicks off into high gear once the chorus basically starts. But the verse is really cool, because it's like this offbeat, kind of off tempo, which we don't see Bayside doing too much. And I thought that was really cool. Like, these guys are experimenting, and doing this and that. And it's definitely, once it goes into the chorus, it definitely sounds like Bayside. And you know, it's just like that, like kind of heavy guitar for sure. And your fans are going to be really familiar with this chorus for sure. And of course, Jack O'Shea does an awesome solo in this one as well. Now, number 9, The Ghost. This is my favorite track off of the album, and this is just, again, another one of those cheery kind of songs that has high spirits. Like, I listened to this, and first off, I wanted to get up and dance, and it's got that really great punk vibe to it. All throughout, the guitar is just shredding it up. Jack and Anthony. I love the opening though, when it's just Anthony playing alone on guitar, and it's just a great way to change things up a bit. And yeah, Anthony's voice absolutely shines in this song. The lyrics are great, and again, it's just so refreshing for Bayside to do something like this for sure. Moving on to track number 10, it's called It Doesn't Make It True. So this is one of the slower songs on the album. It's like one of those slow, swaying songs, It's a solid track. I like at the end how it kind of slows even further down and almost goes into a breakdown-esque part of the song. That was pretty cool, so solid track right there. And finally, we close off the album with track number 11, It's Not As Depressing As It Sounds. So yes, right there you could tell. So going into the song, it starts off like a very slow build. I love the cryptic lyrics. It's just, with Anthony and the guitar, it's a really dark part of this album for sure. Bayside's known for that kind of feeling. But, as it kind of progresses, the song transforms into something much more cheerful and hopeful. And all in all, becomes one of the best ways you could end this album, is just a strong, powerful message. And that is basically what I thought of every one of the tracks off of Bayside Vacancy. So getting into my pros of the album, first off, I really enjoyed that Bayside's experimenting with this kind of new kind of take on things. Like I said, with the southern rock was a huge influence. Because Anthony's living down in Tennessee now, so without a doubt he's got to have some kind of influence by that. Overall, I like the lighter tone a lot of these songs had. Like I said, a lot of my favorite songs off this album were some of the lighter, cheerier ones, so that was cool. Great variety of unique tracks. Like, every song on this album feels so much different from the other one. And finally, high production quality. of this album. Like, if you listen to this album, every time I listen to it, I could pick up something a little bit different in the background. Like, there's so much that they put into this album. It's one of those albums that you're going to be listening to for months at a time and still finding out new stuff about it. As much as I really enjoyed this album, guys, I did have a few cons. First off, where's the acoustic track? You know, every Bayside album thus far has had an acoustic track of some sort. I mean, the guys even put out an entire acoustic album, so I was really expecting that and was kind of underwhelmed that we didn't get one. And finally, this is like kind of a nitpick. While I enjoyed the lyrics in this album, they just didn't compare to the previous albums, such as, you know, the great self-titled Bayside album, as well as The Walking Wounded. But don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the lyrics. Okay, so I'm going to give Bayside Vacancy a score of an 8.5 out of 10. This basically ranks somewhere in the middle of the albums for me in the Bayside discography. I just want to give you guys a quick message saying that, you know, this album grew on me, and, you know, listen to it a few times. It's going to be very different for, especially for the Bayside fans that have been listening their whole lives. Yeah, this is going to be, like, almost jarring, kind of how different the sound of this band is in this album. But you're going to find stuff that's familiar to the old albums, and, you know, I think they have a great thing going for them. There was only, like, 1 or 2 tracks I didn't really like on this album. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. So I'm really, really digging this album. I'm going to be listening to it for months and months to come. And speaking of listening to Bayside, they're actually going on a tour to support this new album. So you can go see them on tour in the U.S. from August 17th through September 18th. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Hit that like button if you like this video, obviously, and comment down below what you thought of this video and maybe what album you want to see me review next. And you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/audioaddictionnj, and you can follow our Twitter at audioaddiction_. Please subscribe to our channel, guys. It helps us make it easier for you guys to get all our content. We have interviews, we do album reviews, we do live video posts of concerts, so definitely sub to us. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.